and I'm doing another Until Dawn video. Now, of course, I do recognize I have finished the main game, of course, if you watched the previous videos or the other ones in this playlist. So I'm just going ahead and doing this one so that you may see the many different clues, and I can kind of give a little bit of a pointer as to where to find the clues and the totems. And I also will show the butterfly effect I got as a whole, even though I've showed it throughout the series, and then I'll show the events of the past clip. I figure I'll just go and do this, even though many other YouTubers have it, just might as well. So the film trophy, you're able to find it around, it's down the hall from the little sub hall that you go to for the restroom, if I'm not mistaken. It's on the top floor though. But yeah, you're able to get it towards the beginning when you're running around as Chris. Later, when during the attempted kidnap scene with Sam, basically any other time they allow you to go up and down floors, like when she leaves after trying to stop the water to go actually set up the water in the basement with Josh and stuff like that. So that's where this one is. This one, you find it, it's on the table, I believe, next to the kitchen. So, yeah. And you can pause if you want to read the descriptions. And, this one is another one of them that's found on one of the tables. I get it confused with the last ones as well, yeah, it's been a while. I mean, some of this I also found, looked at today, but like I've said, there's just one too many of the tables that look the same. So it's on those two areas. You find that whenever you're first heading through with Chris, whenever you first head into the back way of the house. You're able to find this in Hannah's room. Well, and there's the rest of it. And there's the rest of it. Tennis, you find this in the little cabin, like it says. Yeah, Washington Lodge, the Washington cabin. They're very vague on their descriptions. That's why I'm trying to help out a little bit more. You find this in the little secret cubbyhole room. But of course you naturally get this with the progression of the game. I mean, you naturally get it. This one's a little hard to find. You find it, I think, if you turn around and you head towards this little kind of like nightstand near the library section. It's whenever you go to find the little secret image that was above Beth's phone. You find that whenever you're going and you reach the cliffside where the elk meet up with Matt and Emily. You find that if you kind of go straight left instead of going towards the cliff edge. I guess straight left makes any sense, I don't know. Find that in the fire tower with, what's it called? You find it inside one of the lockers. You find this in the printer. Once you turn the power back on, just press the button on the printer. Sorry I'm not able to actually give you like a physical video. It's just, I actually did have a few set up. It's just, pardon that. I just had to delete those for space reasons. So I'm just trying to do a little helpful video here. This is found near the drop, of course. You know, once you get down and you're playing as Emily, you run into those. You run into that if you just continue heading straight instead of taking moving the slanted chain link door. You'll find it on top of a barrel, which looks like it was like a homemade setup table. A little homemade calendar Hannah had made. You are able to find that at the first right that you have when you start heading up, right after finding the scratch marks and the glasses. And if you go all the way to the back of the room, you're able to find that sitting on one of the things, which I'm trying to figure out how that got there. Like if one of them had it in their pocket or something, but anywho. Then a little bit later, after you move the chain link door, you'll be able to see in the bottom right corner the little glisten of her jacket. That's where that would be. Then, of course, Beth's watch is in the grave. If you take a left instead of heading directly right down the water in chapter 10. And then if you take a left after getting in the water, if you go all the way back to the back and then take a left instead of going right where Mike is heading, you'll end up finding this little ledge, and that's where this journal will be. And this is also the way to get Josh to live. And of course, I did actually read each of these as well, in which they even say like the last one's like inaudible. Yeah, it is kind of scrawls, but it's hunger, 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 like hunger 3 times. And 1952. You find this whenever you're in like that towards the little sub-mine section that Mike and Jessica end up in. It's a shortcut. You find this mask on Jessica and Mike's little walk. The little shack that they stop at. You'll probably end up finding it, because if I'm not mistaken, you kind of need to find it in order to continue on, but I don't know. Administration notes, you find it. Sanatorium. Close to the entrance. Basically, if you walk straight through the front door, it'll be the first thing on the right, and if you come up from the little passageway, you'll have to take a right. Broken camera, you'll find on the crate. It's either a table or a crate. In like the main admin office, at least the office that you run into right after you head through the admin sign. I'm trying to remember exactly where you get this. Yeah, it's one of the many medical notes. At the very least, if you're wondering exactly where it is, just look over my walkthrough. I'd say that for just about all of these, though, just since I did try to get as many clues as I could, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I got all of the clues that are for 1952 at least in the walkthrough. You have the clock-in cards, you find those in the little safe, in the same general area of where the camera is. If I'm not mistaken, you find this. If you head all the way to the back of the room instead of heading down the stairs towards the exit, you find this in one of the little side rooms. Don't ask me exactly where, it's been a while. There's all the information. You find this behind a curtain in like one of the little side rooms. Can't be very descriptive for most of these. It's probably not very helpful, but there's like a lot of those side rooms. I mean, if you just go into every little, little corner room, you'll eventually find it though. They usually kind of stand out with a little glow. Telegram, also found in a side room, but here's some info. Found in one of the morgue drawers. Found on the little shelf or stand right as you walk in to the right of the morgue. Death certificate. It was also in the morgue, one of the morgue tray drawers. I forget the actual word for it. I think I may have just said it a second or two ago. I don't remember. You find this in the mine. Yeah, to continue trying to cover it up even more, they had the cards removed and locked them away in a safe, and tried to mark out the in. I love how for the out, though, they put 36, even though there were 30 people going in, but, Yeah, you find this, if you head left or north, if you went right after you light the sconce in the mines is Emily. The first time that you're with Emily in the mines, before you meet the stranger. You find that in a chest. If you look to the left, right before you move the mine cart with Emily, you find this in the same room as the glasses. Wait, nope. Not that room yet. It's the first large room you can find if you go a little bit to the right. You're able to find it in this toolbox, it seems. You can only get this if you end up staying hidden the first time from the stranger and then choosing the hide option instead of the run back option the second time. And of course, here's the guy's journal. If this is part of the main story, you get it with Ashley. Now, of course, the first 2 pages there, clue 18. You're only able to get that if you go scroll left instead of scrolling right, like the game suggests. There's all the info. Yeah, what I was trying to read and failed to do so in the walkthrough, especially since Ashley continued interrupting me. Anywho. And the last page. Then these are if you take the last door on the left side and the second time you play as Mike in the sanatorium. You find the doctor's report in one of the side rooms. I forget which one. I don't think it's one of the cells though. So it's a little bit before the cells, I think. You find this in another one of the side rooms, which you have to go back instead of going straight forward where the dog went. Then suicide note, which you find in a little medical, I think, supply room. It's a little mystery, fake wall with the guy hidden behind it. And then this is Billy Bates, the guy from the previous photo and card. So you find this in the drawer of the same room that you find the hidden wall. So here's all the 1952 ones, the Mystery Man, This one's going to be even a little harder for me to figure out, but there aren't nearly as many of this as there are the previous two, because you're able to find the previous two throughout the whole game. This goes up to, I think, chapter 6. You find this whenever you first start the game. Whenever you're playing as Sam or Chris, whenever you're going towards the little pseudo pellet gun range. You find this in the basement with, what's it called? Yeah, you find it whenever you go down there as Chris. You're able to find this if you go into the little conference room during Chris's walk around, because I think the conference room is locked whenever you're playing as everybody else, whenever you're allowed to roam around the whole place. So if I'm not mistaken, though, you have to get this as Chris. Actually, I think you're able to get like one other time, but it's like that one other time. This is an axe holder. You find it whenever you're heading towards the basement side entrance. This is the cigar. You're able to find this little Indian shrine, well, Native American shrine. Same thing found in the shrine. You find the shrine, that little close to surface mine area that Mike and Jessica found. You find this in the little cabin. It kind of just describes the images and stuff. You find a postcard. It's in Hannah's room. This is the back of the picture from earlier, from the twins. You find this in the corner of a little room shortly before you enter the library with the little secret wall. You find this right after, whenever you're walking down that little hallway before they get kidnapped. If you look left instead of heading straight, you find this in the sanatorium. On your first run through, you can find this on your first or second run through. It's on the right wall. You find this in the same chapter. If I'm not mistaken, this is the only time you're able to. But when you're playing as Sam and you are in your bathrobe and you make it all the way down, but don't go all the way down to the basement yet because it kicks you into the cutscene, but instead take a left and go into the front door area, and it should be sitting there on the table. You find this by whenever you're on your way to go and figure out where Ashley is. You find this in the door, part of the main story. You find the hidden camera in between some boxes whenever you head down into the basement with Ashley and Chris. If you look to the right, right as you walk in, it's near where the light bulb thing is. This is another little subsection before you head down some more stairs in the old basement. Here's some more of the info. Here's the light bulb catalog I brought up. That was to the left of the camera. Now, of course, the camera actually is quote-unquote hidden pretty well. I mean, it's hidden well just because of the camera angle the game designers have, but it's not really all that hidden if you were there in reality. I mean, it's just sitting there with two cardboard boxes next to it. Not the best. You find this if you head towards the sparking noise during your trip downstairs. You find this if you take a right once you enter the main slaughter room. You find that on the back wall. It's kind of like what kind of looks like a hit list. You find this to the left right as you enter the room, and it's directly opposite from where the pig is. This is in the same room that you're able to either find Sam or the dummy. Of course, you're able to get that if you're playing as Sam. And then you get this one when you're either as Sam or Chris and Ashley, if I'm not mistaken. This is if you weren't captured as Sam, and you could go look to the right as you enter. You find it sitting on the shelf to the left. Find it all the way on the straight back, it kind of stands out. Find it towards the exit. Trying to remember, but it's right next to the little sub stairwell that you have to go up. And then Josh's psychiatric report. You're able to find in a table near to where you find the phone. Here's all the info if you want to look through it. Pause the video and do so. But yep. Man, there's a lot of info. A lot more than what I thought there was, but there you go. That's all of them. And now we're here to the totems. So we'll start off with the death totems. You find that during the prologue. You find that like it says near the cable car, but it's I forget exactly where you have to take a left, but it's almost, it's not too long after you leave the cable car area and you're heading towards the fire tower. But of course it's during the first part though, when you end up being stopped at the ledge by the elk. But this is on the back left. You're able to get it either time that you're there with Mike. Yeah, either time you're there with him. So this is in the same area that you find the first hog with Chris on your way to get Ashley. You're going to go and help her out from the saw blade incident. You find this while you're in the mine bit with Emily. I forget exactly which one though, the first or second part. And you find that if you find this one, if you take the right instead of jumping down whenever Sam's on her way to go help out Mike. Then guidance. You find this one, if I'm not mistaken. It's the first totem, I think, that you find. Right after they show you what the totems all are supposed to mean. It's the one towards the beginning. It's in chapter 2. If you head down near where Sam and Matt are, rather than going straight up where Josh leads you. I forget exactly where this one is, just because, and you'll see it though, it glows. You have to take a left though instead of going right. I remember that. I think it's before you go and cross the bridge, but it's been a while. Just watch my one of my videos, my previous walkthrough bits, if you want to know exactly where they are, because I think I found just about all the totems as well, except for 1 or 2. And that yeah, I remember seeing this recently, but I don't remember exactly when, what video. Oh yeah, and I definitely definitely don't. It's been a while. I remember I found this one. Like, I got lost once, and I kind of found it. So, yeah, I guess if you get lost, it might help you find it. And the first lost totem, you find it in the basement. It's one of the first ones you ever get, but you find it in the basement as Chris during the second act. You find this about the same area as you find the Fortune one. They aren't too far apart. We'll get to the Fortune one in a few. This is to the right of the old shed on your way to go help out Ashley. If you just continue going all the way right, kind of where, near where Chris and the old man go. You find this if you well, towards the back when you have Mike, I think near the first time that you go down there in the sanatorium, but it's close to where the Fortune one is. The Fortune one is outside, and it's inside, but it's in the little basement subsection that they zoom in on. This one, it's pretty tricky to get to, but you have to, on your way down the hall towards where the sewer grate is that you pick up as Ashley, it's in one of the little side turn-off areas to the left, if I'm not mistaken. It's either that or it's the one that you find and if you head in the direction of the voice. Danger. You find this on your way to the generator. Also on your way to the cabin. I believe this is on your second time in the mine. It's not a very long amount of time, but it's still there. This is in one of the little sub-rooms on your way to the gravestones. Oh, that's right. This is the one that you find in the tunnel. Towards the sewer grate. The other one is the one that you find if you follow the voice, if I'm not mistaken. And this is the last totem you should find if you find all of them in order. This is on your way back to the lodge. This is in a little abandoned, towards surface mine. Shouldn't take. It's kind of easy to find, same as the other one with her. This one's around the same. This is the one that's outside if you continue heading out towards where the fountain is instead of, it's in between the fountain and the exit gate. If you do that instead of heading towards the the little basement rail, I guess you could call it, that they have set up. I found this earlier in the walkthrough. I just don't remember exactly where. Also earlier in the walkthrough, I just don't remember where. It's to the right before you jump into the water, if I'm not mistaken. And you find this is Josh if you head off to the little subsection before continuing to follow Mike. And that is all of the totems, and along with each totem comes an event of the past, like another little piece for the video. And since I gathered all of them, here's the full video.
Many years ago, my grandfather hunted those possessed by the curse. But there was one that eluded him. The fiercest of all, the Macapichu. It was a terrible thing, and my grandfather could not defeat it. Sometime after, the prospectors came to mine this mountain, until a cave-in trapped the men and woke the curse again. And there were dozens of men with no food, no light. And in that blackness, the hunger came. They were consumed by their abominable cravings and driven mad. Murderers. Cannibals. Eating human flesh. And if you kill this monstrous thing, the spirit is released and swirls the mountain like an evil wind waiting to possess again. You best not kill them, I have tried. You can only trap them, taunt them with fire. And after all these years, after many moons and many hunts, the Macapichu still roamed free, out of my grasp, beyond my reach. Until one night, a year ago, I was finally able to get him in my sights. But we were not alone in the woods that night. While I was tracking the Macapichu, it was tracking something else. The Macapichu forced your friends over the mountain. There was nothing I could do. I couldn't save your friends, but I could avenge them. I hunted the Wendigo down and I doused it with fire. The Macapichu was dead.
And that was the little event of the past clips. It was supposed to help summarize what happened in the mines and everything if you weren't able to get all the clues or if you just didn't put all the pieces together. And all of the butterfly effect moments that we had throughout our playthrough. Yeah, like I said, wasn't going to find the other half of that one. Still have yet to. Yeah, Matt was all alone in the mine since Jessica kind of died. And, she indebted to Chris, but Josh didn't like it. We didn't cut off our fingers, so we had the machete. Yep, and Wolfie survived. We fired the flare. We survived, and we got to find the workshop. We didn't hack the elk. Gave Matt the flare gun. Yep. Matt jumped to safety. And he survived until dawn. Roll credits. Just joking. But yeah, we were able to get Matt to live. Ooh-ah. I took the scissors, I stabbed him, and he got a black eye. And she got a black eye. Had them stick together. Chris shot himself. And due to that, Ashley kissed him and then opened up the door. We wouldn't leave Chris behind. We ignored the voice, and Ashley joined everyone else, and Chris survived. We found Hannah's journal, and Josh, quote-unquote, survived, but turned into a Wendigo. And in the result of chaos, Sam ended up surviving, Mike had survived, Ashley survived, Emily fell into the ore grinder, which became a meat grinder, and half of her was a trophy. Chris had ended up surviving, Yeah, we had Matt, Chris, Ashley, Mike, and Sam survive by the end. And that is all of the stats and collectibles. So I hope you all enjoyed this little video. Now, of course, it's not required. I mean, of course, nothing on YouTube is required, but I'm meaning like this isn't like part of the main game. This is just like if you want to. Yeah, this isn't part of the main walkthrough. This is if you want to like see everything else. So hope you all enjoyed this little tidbit here, and hope you all have a great rest of your day. And as always, like to say goodbye.